ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa has called on young people to go to the polls en masse. This to ensure they choose a government that will accelerate growth, create jobs and improve lives. The president concluded a two-day election campaign trail in the northwest.
Urging the crowd to vote in large numbers to help move South Africa forward. Ramaphosa says the government they choose on the 8th of May should be the one which will commit to improving the lives of all South Africans, particularly the poor. Sheila Sekwanyana, a struggling Ikageng resident, is hoping the president's promise to instruct the local mayor to help her son will solve her problems.
My son has finished at university but needs 6 months training so that he can graduate. So far, our council has not been helpful in assisting my son. But I'm happy that the president has come again, and now I'm sure my son will be helped tomorrow.
The ANC president is promising to attend to residents' issues.
We don't have the roads at all. So when it's raining, so the whole roads here in Extension 39 are full of mud.
Since 2006, I've been staying here in Extension 39 without a title deed. I don't even know if this house belongs to me.
Many people who are waiting for houses have got three things. They've got stands, they've got water, they've got electricity. What is short is for them to have a proper structure, which we can call a house. I'm hopeful. There is no dejection here. There is just a lot of hope that resides in the hearts of our people here.
President Ramaphosa emphasized that government should have no choice but to step up the fight against issues like corruption and state capture. Jake Makoma, SABC News, Mahikeng.
DA leader Mmusi Maimane says he is confident his party will be in government in KwaZulu Natal after the May 8 elections. Maimane is confident his party is ready to govern the province. He was on a campaign trail at Umlazi, south of Durban.
Pulling out all the stops ahead of the national and provincial polls, DA leader Mmusi Maimane went from house to house in East Section in Umlazi, urging residents to vote for change.
We want to be able to form a government here in KZN. Our numbers are indicating that the DA is growing here in KZN. We are the only party that can bring the change. We've shown where we government that change happens.
He says the party will be cautious about who it gets into coalition with.
We will never work with a party that is racist. We will never work with a party that doesn't want to uphold the rule of law or wants to advance corruption. So before we decide which of these parties are there, let us focus on going out to the elections, turning out voters so that the DA can grow. We'll have discussions afterwards.
Maimane reiterated that the DA would never allow any form of racism within its ranks. Simpiwe Makanya, SABC News, Umlazi.
Informal settlements across the country become the main go-to areas for politicians each election. Those seeking votes travel to townships in all the corners of South Africa to attract votes for their parties. Today, it was the UDM which visited one of the most impoverished parts of Cape Town.
Just 1 year shy of 2 decades. That's how long Richard and Noinglosi Qumane have been living in these conditions. Apart from the obvious squalor, the stagnating water, the lack of ablution facilities, the piled up rubble, rainy weather is adding to their woes.
Every time it rains, the water comes into our home, causing floods here. We do report and nothing is done.
While the UDM doesn't have a provincial footprint here in the Western Cape, the party aims to change that by conducting door-to-door visits. It says the ruling party here, the DA, needs to be held more accountable.
In this province, we should do everything in our power to ensure that we oversee the work they do in this province, because often they are always chest beating, bragging about all their successes and their achievements where they govern, but you come to Barcelona and other areas where our people live, you find that there's no service delivered, it's non-existent.
But more than 2 decades after democracy and the many promises made to the people of this country, what exactly is it that a politician can say to convince these people to vote for his party?
We politicians, to a large extent, have failed our people because we are not focusing on real bread and butter issues that worry them on a daily basis. We are focusing on political point scoring and vote maximization at all costs.
UDM community workers here say they are trying to make an impact. Meanwhile, all that Richard and Noinglosi Qumani can do is hope that the rainy weather forecast for the region won't cause damage to their home. Abra Barbia, SABC News, Barcelona, Cape Town.